realisticos. Good
morning. Thank you for having us.
Jen.
Good morning. Lovely to see you. Thanks for having us.
Good
morning.
Good morning.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you.
Just need to be, I'm going to do a 5. We've got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
We have to decide who's who.
Just make it up.
I'm an HR, CEO, and COO.
So good morning. Thank you for having us. We're here today to interest you, we hope, in coaching. So I'd like you to consider the question, first of all, how many international tennis coaches or tennis performers or players do you know who don't have a coach? How many footballers, top rugby players do you know who don't have a coach? Well, the answer is obvious, they all have a coach. But we're just beginning now to understand how this impacts in the business world and how impactful business coaching can be. And that's what we want to talk to you about today in your organisation. Can I start by asking you how much you know about coaching and the impact it could have on your organisation?
Actually, it would be a good idea for you guys to enlighten us on that issue and to tell us, because obviously we're not a sports organization, so we would like to hear from you what's the correlation. You know, obviously we are not playing a game here, we are serious professionals.
Sure.
So let's see how that applies to business.
Absolutely, and the analogy is simply that it is so well established in sport. It is simply that, as I said, we're starting to understand now how it can impact on business, and that's why I asked you, do you have any understanding of that, or are you coming to it absolutely from the start? Our organisation, Ithaca International, is a group of coaches, and Elena will now tell you how that actually works with an organisation, if that's okay.
Right, I agree, you're not in sports, you're in business. However, you also are interested in high performance, that's what you want. And I know that you have different tools to achieve that, like the 360-degree feedback systems, opinion survey, and so on. Am I right in assuming that you have those? And I'm sure you get the feedback, but perhaps like many organisations, the feedback and the development plans just sit in a drawer, and a year later they're brought out and reviewed, and they just tend to sit in a drawer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're finding that's happening with a lot of organisations, that they're not being actively used, the feedback, for real development.
In our organization, this is not the case. We actually have follow-up sessions, we have regular interim and quarterly sort of follow-up sessions between management and employees. So the conversation is quite alive.
Fantastic. And that's what coaching will enhance and boost, those conversations. Because again, going back to sports, the quality of what the coach does, the quality of conversation, the energy between the coach, the chemistry between the coach and the performer in sports makes a big difference. We found through research and our own work that that quality of relationship, that quality of conversation and communication between the manager, who is then acting as a coach, and the receiver is very important. Now,
what's the difference then, sorry to interrupt, between the conversations that managers have on a regular basis and what you're proposing?
The managers who are having these conversations, we are proposing for them to receive coaching as well, because through the coaching that they will receive from us, they will be able to give better coaching in turn. So we are proposing to come in and assist these managers that you have who are communicating with their staff to be able to coach even better from the coaching they receive. Because obviously they face challenges as well in the work that they do with their own staff.
Can I add to that, Elena, that coaching really is about self-development, and it's about people taking responsibility for their own development. So you, as an organisation, I'm sure, have put expensive training and development into your people, and it requires you to organise it and put it in place. What coaching does is it empowers the individual to take responsibility for their own learning and development. And we know how important this is, particularly with our Gen Z and our millennials. We're now employing people who were born in 1996 or 97 for the first time. We never employed them before. We need to motivate them differently. And Jorge has an example of how in an organisation it works, which you might like to hear about.
Thank you. I would like to share with you my experience. The first time I received coaching when 10 years ago, my first reaction was not so positive because I didn't know what coaching was about. When my first meeting with the coach was fact-finding for me, I had my perceptions, what value, because I thought I was doing my job well. But I liked the process. The process was very friendly, very not dictating. It was a process where my coach was asking me questions, making me think about facts, experiences, and what was going well for me. And I had to think. He was helping me to realize my alignment with the rest of my team and the organization. And this process, he never gave me instruction or solution, but because of that, any new ideas and decisions I had taken were from me, and that's why I was keen to implement these decisions.
So, sorry to interrupt, but was this done on a classroom training? Was it
No,
one-to-one?
one-to-one.
I had to see the setup.
Yes, it's one-to-one coaching. It's actually one of the things that I worried was confidentiality. But it was a professional coaching organization. The professional coach ensures confidentiality within his organization and within our organization. At the beginning, it was more difficult to open up, but very soon, I realized that the benefit, the value, the chemistry had been developed with the coach, and it really helped me. It really helped me to realize things that I was doing that I could change a bit.
The question on an organizational level, in the case of our organization, is so what? I mean, our organization has a good morale. We have low attrition rates. The performance of the organization is fine. So why should we invest so much money in something that, okay, it's a nice to have, but I really want to see how this can really add value.
You're very fortunate if you have low attrition. Sorry to interrupt you, but you are so fortunate if you have low attrition, because every organisation is suffering churn, as you know, with staff moving on very quickly. And coaching is a way of encouraging staff to feel valued, to feel respected by the organisation, to feel motivated, to join in the vision of the organisation, rather than just working there for that salary on a Friday. But when you think of it, the cost of replacing one person, to replace one person by the time you recruit them, advertise, will cost you a couple of €1,000. We're offering a service that could be as low as €600 per person, and you will have a staff group and culture, and you're lucky, you have a good culture, but you will have a culture where staff really feel involved, part of it, part of the vision, motivated. We hear stories, maybe again, not in your organisation, but we do hear with the young people, the Gen Z, the millennials, they have a different approach to work than we did traditionally. They have their breaks, they take their snapshots, they are more casual, they come in a bit later, and sometimes we say, how do we get these people to feel involved? Well, coaching gets them involved. And coaching works right across an organisation, from the CEO to the newest hire. If there's a sense of coaching as a method of people really communicating effectively with one another, it impacts hugely on the organisation, and the return on the investment is considerable.
So if I understand correctly, you are proposing coaching to be done at all levels of the organization. I think it would be a very costly undertaking by an organization. Is there any way that we could, is it only for the managers?
It's most effective if it's optional. So if we believe in Ithaca, and we've worked like this with other organisations, where we offer it to anybody in the organisation who wishes to avail of it, because self-selection is very powerful. If somebody says, yeah, I would like coaching to improve my performance and to do better within the organisation, that's very powerful. That might be a very senior person who has never encountered coaching before, and we often assume with senior people, oh, they know it all, they don't need coaching, but some of them say, no, I'm into lifelong learning, I want to grow, I want to develop, so they might opt for it. And you might have a very young new hire saying, I'm interested in coaching. So we would ask you to offer it within the organisation at whatever level.
But I think most of the people that probably would benefit from coaching or any type of training are probably the people who were not aware that they need it actually. How can we convince? If we leave it on a voluntary basis, then probably our best performers will come forward. But we also want to engage the people who would whose performance needs improvement. How would we convince them to come on board?
I think you need to go, you need to offer this coaching to all the people, and you will not get acceptance 100% from the beginning, but in sharing my experience before, I saw that the acceptance was almost 100% at the end of the day, because the coaching sessions are not imposed on them at the end of the day, because they see value and they are asking for this. They feel that they get more solutions on their own, and they don't follow the firm's policy. Coaching has nothing to do with management, has nothing to do with company policies, directions, etc. You are there on a confidential basis with a coach. You open up, you can say something which is correct. Sometimes you are confused, but it's the process that will help you to find the way forward for you.
And can I add, Jorge, in our experience, it's a ripple effect. If people start coaching within an organisation, curiosity emerges. And people say, oh, what are they doing? What's going on? What's happening? And they're interested and they're curious. And they see the benefit when somebody who is undergoing coaching seems less stressed, more in command, is achieving more, their productivity is better. And people say, what have they got that I don't have? So they begin to look for it.
It has a multiplier effect, this one.
Totally.
I believe that.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Can I ask, thank you for the presentation. I realize that you're an international company, but have you worked with other Cypriot-based companies, and do you have any facts and figures of how it improved their performance?
I have, yes.
And you have to.
I do. In fact, we were recently working with a competitor of yours who went through a major phase of acquisition and merger, which was very challenging and stressful for the people there. And we did a stress questionnaire at the beginning of this acquisition, and we've done now 3 months later, and we can see that the stress levels and the levels of engagement have improved. So we have very tangible case studies that we have in Cyprus as well as internationally, where managers and staff have reported a change in the way they face the challenges of their organisation.
As Elena suggested, when we work with an organisation initially, we do a survey and we get some information as to where people are at in terms of the culture and what they want to contribute. And then we agree a programme with you, the numbers of people spread over a period of 6 months. We provide, we're the main partners in this organisation, but we have other consultant coaches as well. And we offer a service whereby the coach is guaranteed to be there on the day. There will be no appointments that don't occur because we have backup. and we have a lot of experience in case studies we'd be happy to share with you.
And from my experience in Cyprus, we have very highly qualified people in all their fields, excellent technically, and the only issue that has to be dealt is the soft skills, the emotional intelligence, management, etc. So coaching is very important to assist these people to match their highly technical skills and with their management skills.
We believe greatly in the match between the client and the coach. There must be a connection. We're all also qualified with the EMCC, which is the international body, and we undergo our annual accreditation and CPD, so we keep our skills up to date. Thank you very much for having us today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.